please start using the raised hand function. And we're going to begin right away. We're going to start with Alexa. Alexa, go ahead, and you're going to be followed by Charles.
Hi there, this is Alexa Philippou from ESPN. This question is for Tanisha, but if either of the players want to chime in, feel free to. I was just curious, what have you seen from Tina so far in training camp? What are kind of your expectations, or what do you hope to see from her kind of as the season gets rolling, especially given that she's back in the league after not playing last year?
I think Tina's been good at training camp. Her experience, being able to lend her experience to our younger core and our group here, and just getting out there and being an example, leading by example, not taking any plays off. And so she's definitely helping. I think the expectation is for Tina to be Tina. You know what I mean? For her to go out there and dominate, like she knows how to dominate. So I think that's our expectation. She's a great piece for us to have, especially with these two that I have next to me, and Cheyenne and JC, and all the rest of the pieces that we have here.
All right, thank you. Alexa, anything else?
Nope, thank you.
All right, thank you. Charles, you're up. You're going to be followed by Sean.
Good morning. Charles Homer, Minnesota Spoken Recorder. Can you hear me?
Good morning. Yes.
Good morning.
This is for Coach. Can you speak? You already spoke on Tina. Can you speak on the acquisition of having Ariel Powers on your team and what she's added to your squad, and how the two players are going to be learning from her as well?
Yeah, I mean, AP has been a burst of energy. I mean, every single day she shows up ready to go with her hard hat on, ready to put in work, and she shows up with the same type of energy every single day for the practices. I think AP is just ready to get back on the court as well and get to playing. And so, even from the very first few practices that we put out, her playmaking ability, obviously her aggressiveness, all those different things, I think she's going to add that to our team. And so she's been really good from the very beginning. So we're excited about what AP adding that depth and what she can do to help our team.
All right, thanks. And Rhyne or Allisha, you want to add to that, please?
Yeah, I'll say just to piggyback off of that, we had media today yesterday, and I feel like she could be one of our key X factors just off her energy alone. And so it's great to have her here. It's great for her, but also so we can see her, we can, mesh together and just be able to build and get to where we all want to go.
All right, thank you. We're going to turn next to Zach. Zach, go ahead.
All right, thanks. Coach, what's the one thing you want to see out of your ladies tomorrow? Most important?
You mean Wednesday?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Thursday. I just want us to defend at a high level. I think the opportunity to get back on the court and continue to work on the things that we're working on. Like, camp is short, you know what I mean? There's never enough time in camp for you to really work on everything that you need to work on. So we have to look at it as another opportunity to work on some things that we're deficient at. And so for us, like, we need to defend at a higher level if we want to be the team that I think that we can be. I think turning up our defensive intensity and being able to rely on our defense. I think we have enough weapons in terms of the offensive side of the floor, but if we really want to do something, then we got to be able to rely on our defense.
All right, thanks. And we're going to turn it to, Sean. Sean, go ahead, and you're going to be followed by Brad.
Hi, my question, Sean Schultz, WNBA Swish. My question's for Rhyne. Just with another year under your belt, how do you feel coming into this training camp? How do you feel like with your comfortability and just the chemistry with your teammates?
I mean, I feel like I'm always comfortable when I come back here and get ready to gear up for the season, but another year under the belt, another year of seeing how intense that this league is continuing to grow and being able to navigate it better and continue to show like that I'm also still working on stuff, but I'm super excited to get back on the court as well, and just super excited to put these pieces together that we have and show people what we can do.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Brad, you're up. Kent, you're on deck. Brad, you're up. Kent, on deck.
Yes, hi ladies. Brad Lake, WBB Nation and WNBA Swish. This question is for Coach. After your game against Washington, Was there anything that you saw by the team's performance that really stood out to you?
Yeah, I think anytime for us in the way that we play in our offense, I think anytime that you add new pieces, it just takes time to learn and to gel and to really catch on to what we're trying to do, the concepts of what we're trying to do. But I was really pleased with um, like a new group of people playing together for the first time. But I was really pleased with how well they caught on to what we've been trying to do on the offensive end. Defensively, again, I just said it earlier. We still have a ton of work to do there, and that happens with just getting reps and reps and reps. But I think like every day that we step out on the court in terms of practice, this group has brought great energy with an attitude to get better. And so for that, like, I'm happy about that because they have the right mindset in terms of knowing what it is that we need to do in order to take us to the next level.
I thank you.
All right, thanks, Brad. Kent, you're up. You're going to be followed by home team. Kent, go ahead.
Hello, Kent Youngblood from the Minneapolis Star. To be in this question is for Coach. As a long time successful player in this league, kind of part of the generation that kind of brought this league up, I was wondering if you could speak to your sense of kind of the growth and interest in this league in general and what it means for everybody. And I know that Caitlin Clark is kind of the focal point of much of this interest, but I just wondering, as a veteran, how fulfilling is it to see this league getting to the point it's getting to?
Yeah, where the league is now, myself, these players next to me, like we've all stood on the shoulders of giants, to be honest with you. Like the players and the athletes who came before us and kind of really kept this league together. Then it was my part and my generation's responsibility to keep it moving forward. And now this generation's responsibility to run with it. The investment in women's sports in general right now is at an all-time high. And so people are finally seeing what we've been saying and what we've been working at for years and years and years. And so I think what we're seeing right now is just a manifestation of prior prior people and prior athletes and prior allies in terms of the women's game just continuing to pound the stone and never giving up and never quitting and saying, okay, this strike, it didn't happen, this strike, it didn't happen, but that next strike, it will happen. And now it has happened. And so I'm excited for this generation to continue to grow it, the things that they're doing, you know what I mean, to make sure that people behind them will also have the right opportunities to, be home, play basketball, play the sport that they love, run into people that they love, and have people celebrate them for that. So that's really a special time, and I'm just happy that I had a little part in doing that.
All right, thank you. Kent, follow up?
No, that's good. Thank you, Coach. It's good to see you here in 2018. It's nice to see you.
Thanks, appreciate that.
All right, just to remind everybody, if you would, please use the raised hand function to indicate you have a question. We've got about 9 minutes left with our Atlanta crew. Got 3 questions on the board. We're going to go to home team, and you're going to be followed by Stephen. Home team.
Thank you. Home team, Brandon Leak from Sports Radio 680 The Fan here in Atlanta. For both Allisha and Rhyne, what do you think is most important to work on in preseason for the team to be ready to roll like you want to when the regular season begins?
For me, I'll say your cardio. We play at such a high pace, so you need to come in train camp in shape. Yeah, because you're not in shape, like you holding us back. So I'll say cardio.
I'd say chemistry to go along with that. I know that we want to play at a fast pace, but we also have to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Sometimes it can get hectic, but if I know that, Alicia's gonna back cut, I can't be going a million miles per hour and throw a pass and she's not gonna be there. So chemistry is definitely an important piece, especially with the newcomers coming in, and just, trying to get back to what we want to do.
All right, all set or a follow up? You good?
I have one follow-up for Coach.
Do it.
Coach, just your thoughts on the turnovers game one. You have to expect, some things to be a little rusty. In the first game, you had a lot of turnovers. What's the message so you could get a little bit more clarity on what improvement you'd like to see would be the next game?
I mean, take care of the ball. We got to get shots on goal. You know what I mean? There's plenty of opportunity for people around. But again, I think Ryan just hit on it, right? It's the chemistry, it's the understanding what somebody is going to do in certain situations. And once I think they get a better feeling for that and a better understanding for that, like, oh, in this situation, I'm probably going to cut, or in this situation, I'm probably going to bounce back to come get this. Like, once they get a better feel for that as they're, you know what I mean, integrate. And Cheyenne's playing a different position for us now. Obviously, Tina Haley right now is starting for us right now. So it's just a chemistry thing and them getting a good feel for what one another is going to do and what one another is great at.
Thank you all.
All right. Thank you, Stephen. You're up, and you're going to be followed by Akeem. Stephen, then Akeem.
Hey, ladies, how y'all doing today?
Good, thanks.
I had a question that I would like to get a perspective from all three of you on. So, obviously, Allisha and recently Ryan, you all have spent time playing in the 3-on-3 tournament. And I'm curious what transferable skills you might see that you applied there that can transfer back to a 5-on-5 play and just generally with the W.
For me, it's more so ISO defense, having to stay in front of your opponent because there's no help side. And from an offense standpoint, just learning to uh create for myself, like create my jump shot or just go get a bucket.
I think I would have to agree with that, and also because it's such a high paced game, you have to be in much better shape than you are for 5-on-5. I mean, you have to be in shape for both, but that 10 minutes is like there's no stopping.
And then from Coach, just kind of what do you see just in observing the 3-on-3 game that you feel like can transfer back to the 5-on-5 game in the W?
Yeah, I think there has to be a good understanding. I think spacing is really important. That can understanding spacing, right? Because 3-on-3, which is the hardest to guard in anything, even when we do breakdowns in practice, if we do a breakdown of 3-on-3 and force them to get stopped for 3-on-3, it's really hard to guard. So, but if the offense doesn't have great spacing, then it becomes easier. So I think spacing is something that can really translate, and understanding why spacing is really important.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. We're going to go next to Akeem, and Akeem, you're going to be followed by Dejounbere. Akeem, go ahead.
Akeem Balaam, of course, with BeyondTheW.com. Best of luck to you this season. This one's, I have a question for Coach, and if Allisha or Ryan want to chime in, feel free. With so much, build up towards this season, arguably more so than ever before. Have there been, like, especially after the season you had last year where you qualified for the playoffs, is there any specific games that you've kind of like, circled on your team's schedule as far as like being, really like marquee games to prepare for?
Nope, they're all important for us.
All right. Akeem, all set?
All good.
All right, we're going to go to Dejounbere, and you're going to be followed, circling back to Alexa. Dejounbere, go ahead.
I appreciate that. I almost had it. Jambari Moreau.
Jambari, my bad.
Yeah, Jambari Moreau here, West Side Gazette. This question's for Ryan. Question: Your game is nearly as complete as a player. As someone who continuously seeks improvement, what aspects do you feel like you have still for room for growth, and what steps are you doing to develop your game in those areas?
I mean, there's room for growth everywhere. I had my role meeting today, and
You're giving the media a bit, but go ahead.
I mean, and they were just saying like every year they've given me something to work on, and every year I've come back and applied it. And so this year I'm going to be working on mid-range game, bringing that back. I have a mid-range game, bringing that back into fruition, but continue to do what I'm good at as well. But also being able to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
If I can ask a follow-up question, why specifically in the mid-range? I'm just curious. We were just talking about this last night on our podcast.
Well, I already like to shoot threes, and I've been attacking, so that's the only piece missing.
Oh, okay, that's just, I feel like you're just missing that. Okay.
Yeah. She needs to be a 3-level scorer. She needs to be able to score at all 3 levels, which she's capable of doing. So that's why.
All right, thanks. We're going to circle back to Alexa and then Charles. Alexa, go ahead. We've got just a few more minutes.
Tanisha, just wanted to follow up on something. Do you all have any update on Jordan's status? Will she be available for the season opener next week? And kind of relatedly, how do you see the point guard core like kind of shaping up if she's not able to go? And what do you need to see from them depending on her status?
Yeah, right now with Jordan, she's working really hard to get herself back. Just like with any player, we don't want to rush anything. When Jordan feels like it's time for her to be back, she'll have back. So we don't have any updates right now, but she's working as hard as she can to make sure that sure that she's back. And as far as like the other point guards, I just think like regardless of anything, we have to be a complete team. And so next man up mentality, we say it all the time, like injuries are just part of the game. Like things happen like that, you know, like foot sprains, different things like that. And so we're just looking for next man up mentality. And so thought Haley did a great job in our scrimmage against Washington. She had a great mixture of composure, but being aggressive and looking for opportunities for herself. And so right now, Haley is the one who's out there, and so she's the one who's ready to go, and that's what we're going with right now.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sorry, Charles, you're up. If we have time for one more, we will get to Nikias. Nikias, I don't want to make a promise I can't keep. Charles, go ahead.
Thank you. Charles Harmon again, Minnesota Spoken Recorder. This is for Coach Wright. Coach, you are the second tenured Black coach among the three Black coaches. Can you just speak about your career up to this point and that you hope that the list of Black coaches will improve over the years in the league?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I understand the responsibility and the weight of that, right? With having success, so that it creates more opportunities for that. Noe has done an amazing job there in Seattle. Excited to have Spoon on the sideline as well, and more importantly, all former players, people who have been in this league, given to this league. And given back to this league and grew up through this league. So I think it's really important that we continue to create those opportunities. And so I know that my responsibility, right, is different. Success is just part of what happens in sports. But I understand that like the more success that I have, the more opportunities it will create for people who look like me and people who have played in this league and have had success in this league. So I never take that lightly. Every time that I step out there, I know that it is um, a great opportunity to have that, a great privilege, excuse me, to be out there. And so what I would like to just impart on our athletes and our players is, like I am a former player. I have been here. I have done this. And because of that, that's why I coach them the way that I coach them. I want them to have success. Nobody wants success more for them than I do, maybe their parents, but outside of that, you know what I mean? I'm here for their success. I want everybody to win and I want everybody to eat. And so I take that responsibility very, very high.
Thank you very much. Good luck this season.
All right, thank you. The last question we'll go to Nikias. Nikias, you're up, and we will wrap after this one.
Thank you, Ron. Hello, everyone. Just a quick one for Coach. As you started, I believe Tina Charles and Cheyenne Parker together in the front court in the preseason game. Just wanted to get your insight into what advantages you see with Cheyenne at the 4 versus the 5, where she primarily played last year.
Cheyenne's been begging to play the 4 ever since I got here. She's been begging to play the 4. No, Cheyenne's a great player. I mean, Cheyenne has the ability to be a great playmaker. I thought her pace against Washington was pretty good at that position. She also understands our offense. She understands what she's supposed to be doing, the type of actions that we're looking for. And I thought she did a pretty good job outside of being in foul trouble. I thought she did a pretty good job of doing that. And she just gives us a different dynamic, somebody who can stretch the floor, somebody who has the ability to handle the ball from a post position. So having to guard out there is just different for other post players. And so Cheyenne's capable of doing that. And so we expect that Cheyenne's transition to that will be a good transition.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Tanisha, Ryan, Allisha, thank you so much for joining us, for your participation. Good luck this week. To our media, stay with us. 105. We will be back with the New York Liberty. Coach Sandy Brondello, Jonquel Jones, and Brianna Stewart. Thanks, everybody. See you at 1:05.